Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I was watching Mike and Kim's new video. It's called Jehovah Witness Lost Another Bible Study, who was secretly recording the study. Josh found out that Jehovah Witnesses is living a lie. By going on the internet, he had learned so much information, and their study was about blood. And actually, the book in Mike's hand, I found the PDF of that book before Mike and Kim got it. So I'm glad they got the true blood book. But in the PDF, it mentioned in 1961, that book is the same age as me, because I was born in 1961, and Mike. And it mentioned what I remember. It says you was not allowed to have blood, including blood fractions. Now, yes, they didn't have a whole lot of knowledge about blood fractions. If they didn't, like Mike said, they wouldn't publish that in the book. So today, blood fractions are good, but it was bad at that time. And just like Mike brought out, why would God put something in a powerful book for Jehovah's Witnesses to obey His law, and if you didn't obey it by taking blood or blood fractions, you would be disfellowship? So does that mean the people who got disfellowship by taking blood fractions in the past, they would be reinstated in the future? Because God, Jehovah, didn't have the understanding about blood fractions at that time? So I'm going to play a part of a clip from this talk, and we will take it from there.
We're using the law to try to keep us to standards that Jehovah didn't mean. If that's your livelihood, you need to get that out. Or if someone was hurt, you're not going to repair a broken bone on the Sabbath, because you got to be reasonable. So in reference to now the second right, if someone's dying, now the record, you got to be reasonable. We are. But now we're talking about something totally different. We're talking about how God used life, the life that He gave us and not us. We can't do anything to save ourselves. That's why we rely on Jesus' sacrifice. That's why we try to get ourselves in God's way of life standard, and we follow the standards, because we can't do it ourselves, and nor do we have the power. See, Jehovah has the right to set these standards. That's what we have to realize. No matter we really understand it, Jesus' disciples didn't understand what He meant by eat my flesh and drink my blood. We know that He wasn't talking about breaking that law. That's what Jesus said.
Let's stop right there. When He told those other disciples who walked away that they had to eat His blood, no, drink His blood and eat His body, they was thinking that He was talking for real. They would have to eat His flesh and drink His blood. But actually, He was talking about what the disciples went through the last day with Him by drinking the wine, which that represent His blood, and the body represent the loaf. That's why He was telling those people, but they did not put faith in Him, so they all walked away. But that had nothing to do with changing or not changing the covenant law that has to do with blood. So I'm going to bring out a couple of things, Jehovah's Witnesses. But first, I'm going to finish this recording.
But they didn't understand it. And so, but they didn't leave him because they realized that everything that he outlined up to that point was true and righteous. And later they come to appreciate what he meant by that.
Well, that just seems to me like if there's a case where blood transfusion can save somebody, and I know you told me that there's no situation ever that requires a blood transfusion.
Not ever, but there's no surgery that cannot be performed now. They perform every major surgery that involves a lot of times in the past. Look, they were able to do these surgeries better.
Let's stop for a second. Some places I have seen on the internet about Jehovah's Witnesses' mother went in to give birth. She bled. The 2 babies lived, and she died by not taking blood. Where was this miracle advanced treatment to save the guy's wife and the mother of the 2 newborn children? Or a person that had 2 children who lost their mother and 1 child, but the other one lived. Where was all this miracle treatment, Jehovah's Witnesses? When the person who dies left her children abandoned by the father, and she wasn't there to be a mother. Interesting. Let's continue.
Than they've done in the past. Every surgery performed, even on kids.
Every surgery.
Okay. We'll get into
We have proof of this.
And it's proof of that.
And from top doctors, we have a video documentary from the top doctors around the world, in their words, showing the technological advances, and that Jehovah's Witnesses were willing to be guinea pigs because we were...
Yeah, they decided to be guinea pigs because they figured they're going to die anyway, not taking blood. So they're going to try, they take anything to help them, but they'll end up almost dying because without the true source of life is the blood. That's the reason a bunch of these witnesses is dying. So let's pause it here.
Refuse to take blood, but we do not refuse treatment. We want alternative. We love life, but we just refuse to break God's law. So if I was allergic to...
So they refuse to break God's law to live, but they would die for this organization. That sounds like a cult to me.
Whatever man of the children of Israel or of the strangers who dwell among you, who hunts and catches any animal or bird that may be eaten, he shall pour out its blood and cover it with dust, for it is the life of all flesh. Its blood sustains its life. Therefore I said to the children of Israel, you shall not eat the blood of any flesh, for the life of all flesh is its blood. Whoever eats it shall be cut off. And every person who eats what died naturally, or what was torn by beasts, whether he is a native of your own country or a stranger, he shall both wash his clothes and bathe in water, and be unclean until evening. Then he shall be clean. But if he does not wash them or bathe his body, then he shall bear his guilt.
Okay, Jehovah's Witnesses. What part in this, in Leviticus, starting with 13, that God said, when it's talking about eating animals, birds and animals, and people. It doesn't say that. And when it's talking about to turn the blood back into the ground, you were supposed to do the same thing to your human food. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that in the hospital they gave you a choice to take a monkey's blood, you know, if you can't take human blood, but you're allowed to take monkey's blood or gorilla's blood. What about like dog's blood, chicken blood? So does that mean if you can reject human blood, Jehovah's Witnesses, are you allowed to take animal blood? No, because God said that blood you're supposed to pour back to the ground because it was not compatible with human blood. So you're rejecting part of the Bible because you taking it out of context when it's talking about and from this scripture here in Deuteronomy 12:23, but be sure you do not eat the blood, because the blood is life, and you must not eat life with the meat. Jehovah's Witnesses, you're not eating human meat. You're not feeding upon people and eating and drinking their blood. It's not what this is saying in the Bible. So your governing body is taking scriptures and twisting them around so you would die and making yourself righteous because you're leaving your children behind because you're a cold-hearted person. You rather choose death than life. You let your children die, and you're the one who gave them life in the first place. So you are believing these men. When we tell you this religion is based on way over 100% lies, even their blood doctrine is wrong, Jehovah's Witnesses. Every books they have printed about their lies, false date, that Noah, not Abraham, Isaac, David, all those people are supposed to be resurrected after 1925 by Judge Rutherford. Everything in your old books and literature proves that you have been lied to. This is one of the things, but the only problem is the other things you can believe and you can walk away, believe it or not. But when you put your children, your life in the hands of these men and die for your mediator is the governing body. Remember, Christ is not your mediator. It's these 7 men. So when you put your life in the hands of these 7 men, you will die because you gave up the true mediator for these evil governing bodies that is not your mediator. Wake up, Jehovah's Witnesses. It's time to wake up.